Hello, my Teaserking family. Oh my God. Good news. Gold 32.18, 32.19. Look at this day from 6 o'clock up, up. The US gets it at 10, up. And it's now back to China. We got it at about 6, about 1800, about 18, up 136. This is my point about gold versus silver. Silver's up 71 cents. Gold's up $136. Enough said. This is why you don't trade your gold for silver. You can trade your monopoly money for silver, but that's it. So, this is about tariffs. Basically, watching some China videos, we see China going broke. The airport's empty. The stores are empty. They can't ship anything because of the tariffs. So they're trying to do orders, and they're going, well, by the time we get them done, the tariffs are 140%. So something that might cost $1,000 now costs $2,000. But the PO's for $1,000. The customer's not going to pay for it. We can't ship. You're basically, with these stupid tariffs, bankrupting China. Except we know what China's got. They've got a whole shitload of gold, 60,000 tons. They go to the gold. You're forcing them to go to a gold-backed currency, which will kill the US dollar, and you have nobody to blame but you. You can't do this move if you don't have gold, which the US doesn't have. Trump, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what he's thinking. Egon was on today saying that this is crazy. You don't do tariffs, and then you change, and then you do more, and then you do less, and you're all over the place. You can't do that. China, they're all crying. They're bankrupt. And it just keeps going. And this is what you have. So to quote Egon and Alligator and Mark McGuire, it's not gold going up, it's the dollar going down. And here's where I say, here's the part they miss. It is gold going up. In a sense, the gold's still 1 ounce. I get it. I'm the one who told everybody. You paid $35 for an ounce, now you're paying $3,200 for the ounce. So yes, the dollar's losing value. However, since gold's been depressed down by JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs and comex, we don't know what the price is. As I tell you, the price of gold is here and the comex price is here. But look, it's now $3,200. We still haven't reached what this is. This is my argument through Egon and Alligator and Mark McGuire and anybody else who wants to fight me on this. This is where gold is, and we don't know what this is. My guess, somewhere in the 20,000s, at least. But comex is here. So my point to them, which they are seeming to have a very difficult time figuring out, is the comex price isn't correct. That's what I'm saying. It is not, the dollar is not going down anymore. The dollar is gone. The dollar is 100% gone. So don't tell me the dollar is going down. If the dollar is going down, why did gold go down to $29.60 a few days ago? If the dollar was down, the dollar was down. It would never have gone to $29.60. The dollar didn't go up. So that's where their mistake is. In one sense, it is the dollar being worth less, but you can still have an asset go up. If everybody wants this, it's not the dollar going down, it's the demand for Willie Mays going up. If gold if the demand for gold goes up, the price goes up because of demand, not because the dollar goes down. And all it does is, yes, now it takes $3,217 to buy the same ounce of gold that sold for $35, but the $35 wasn't correct. You don't know what it is till you get a free market price on gold. So, in one sense, yeah, it takes more dollars to buy the ounce of gold, and the ounce of gold hasn't changed, but that doesn't mean the price of gold is correct. We don't know what the correct price of gold is. It sure as shit isn't 3,200 as we go to 3,217. That tells me there's still demand at 3,217. And now that you're pissing China off, and probably the rest of the BRICS, because you're tariffing everybody. So you've unleashed hell on yourself, Trump. You've unleashed hell that they're now buying gold, which gold trumps the dollar. So you want a tariff with this, and they're trumping you with gold. They're trumping you, Trump, with gold. It's a bridge expression to Trump. I got a new angel yesterday, a white angel, which is really good luck. And so far, gold's up to 32.17. So yeah, it's been pretty good luck. I hear people going, "Oh, is gold overvalued? Is it going to drop?" Okay, gold is not a stock. Gold's not going to go down like a stock did. Gold went down to 29.60, which I couldn't understand. I assume it was paying margins. It's the only thing I could assume. And so the stock market's been kind of went up yesterday, went down today. So the stock market is going up or even, so there's not as much margin calls. But I think this is China telling the U.S. to fuck off. You're hitting with 125% tariffs. Are you insane? What do I say? The biggest thing I say, if I can find it, and I showed you yesterday. This is the biggest thing there is to become a financial power or to keep your country running. Low taxes, free trade, the most important. Rule of law that's not corrupt, that uses the Constitution. Stable money, which is gold, and good communications. I'm not really clear on that, but I guess it's mostly laissez-faire. My friend asked me what laissez-faire was. I says it's laissez-faire is leave it alone. Get the government out of it. Let me and you deal, we don't need government involvement. So if that's the best way to be a superpower, and by the way, England did that in 1821, adopted free trade, laissez-faire, and the gold standard. If you want to be, so it's like being a football team. You got to have a great defense and a balanced offense with a good runner and a good receiver and a good quarterback. Not a great one, but a good quarterback and a good head coach. So if you have a good coach and a good quarterback and you got Franco Harris and Lynn Swan and you got a killer defense, that's how you win. Very simple. So what's missing is the free trade now. What the fuck is going on with these tariff wars? There's no such thing as a balanced trade. That is not important. If China makes a bunch of stuff cheap, we buy it. Doesn't mean we can't compete with China because the whole reason we have China build all our stuff, Nike and Ford and GM, is because their labor's cheaper. So, of course, we're going to buy a lot more than they're going to buy because we can't produce it if we even are producing it because our labor's unionized at $60 an hour and China's is at $20 an hour. We pay Medicare and medical for our employees, vacation. They don't. In China, there's no medical. You're sick, too bad, or it's government subsidies or whatever, but you got a lot of government subsidies in China, but basically this is the key, is the labor is much cheaper in China. So if they're building all these computers and cars and golf clubs and Nikes, of course they're gonna export more than we are, because we can't build anything. What are we building? What? Facebook? What do we have that we make? We don't make anything here because the labor's cheaper, and so everybody moved to China for labor for everything. So there's nothing manufactured here. How the hell would you think you'd have a balanced trade budget? Not only that, but why do you think you need a balanced trade budget? You don't need a balanced trade budget. As long as your companies make money because their labor is cheaper in China, that's what counts. Not the trade should not be even. There's no point of the trade being even. And you don't tariff everybody at what they tariff you to make it even. Okay, a lot of these countries are not doing free trade. That's wrong. That doesn't mean you don't do free trade when you need free trade. So this is the equalizer's gold. And you can see China is just kicking the shit out of it. We're over 3,200 now. We'll be 3,500 soon. We'll be 5,000 before you know it. Now, there's no drop. This is not, you are buying, this is not a stock, okay? I don't know why people think it's a stock, and you're going to income average, and you're going to wait for it to drop. This is not a stock. This is gold. All right? Do you think this card goes down? Do you think the Mantle card, if this was a PSA 10, I wish, let's say this is a PSA 9 and it's worth 80,000, we saw it on eBay. You think it's going to go down to 50? Not in your lifetime. This will be 80,000. If not anything, it'll go up to 90 because it's a PSA 9. It's his last year and it's Mantle. Okay, the same thing with Willie. Same thing. I think this card's 80,000 for a PSA 9. This could be a 10 because it's actually centered. There's nothing, it's not going to, you can't wait for it to go down. Now, as I've shown you, there's 20 auctions with PSA 9 Willie Mays, and they will be at different prices, but the price isn't dropping. The auction might. But with gold, you're buying gold to get out of this shit. We know this is crashing. We know this is worthless because they print it. It's very simple. You print too much of this, it's worthless. Right? This is why the Kurt Warner card, this is why it's numbered out of 400, because it's limited. Why did they do it out of 400? Because they know it'll sell. People will want it because there's only 400 Kurt Warner rookies, not 50,000. So while there is 50,000 Mays, there's not 50,000 PSA 9 or 10s. There's maybe a couple hundred, which is why the price is so high. The more of a card, the less it's worth. The more dollars they print, the less it's worth. So you are leaving dollars for gold because it's, as Egon says, gold preservation, but you're also going to make money. Don't kid yourself. We're doing this for two reasons. One, because if we hold on to $100,000, we know it's going to be worthless. We know the bank will steal it. We know it'll be worthless in the bank. But we know the 100,000 won't be worth the 100,000. So that's A. But B, we've got the Eddie Murphy trading places of everybody jumping in. Right? The frenzy. Oh shit, I gotta, orange juice is fine. I gotta sell my position. I'm in at 110. I gotta sell it. And the frenzy happens. So we're waiting and about to get the frenzy into gold. And it's starting to happen at 32.18. The frenzy in gold hasn't begun yet. Oh, wait till that happens. You'll see a 1, you'll see a 0 after it. So it'll be 32170. 53, right? You'll never see 3,200 again. So you can't wait. Are you going to wait for 2,500? You're going to wait for 2,000? You'll never see it. It's gone. We're at 32.17. Somehow we saw 29.60, but that was a blip. And they shot their load, and now here it comes, and there's no derivatives to come down because they don't have it. They got to cover all that they just did the last few days, and I can get down to 29.60 or 70. You've knocked it down, and guess what you did? You got to cover that because they're going to take physical delivery, which you can't get because there's not gold out there to get. You got a very limited thing, which is highly, highly demanded, especially it's money. It's not stock. You're never going to have bad earnings, right? It's not like you're going to have bad earnings or nobody wants gold. Like, oh, Coke, sugar's bad for you. Well, you're never going to get that from gold. So what you have is you have something. It's not going to go down. Once we break up comex, which is what we've done in gold, now you see it just keep running. You see today, it just it's got it's straight up, right? Look at this. When do you see gold straight up? Straight up, 32.19. By the time I'm done, we might be at 32.30. Silver, though, is still caught by JP Morgan. It is still, they don't have to deliver it. It hasn't gone Basel III yet. It will July 1st. Then we'll see silver do this, but not right now. So silver's at 31.25, and you got to be shaking your head. This is why I tell you, don't move your gold for silver, because this is $136 increase and silver 67 cents. I mean, that's the reality of it. It's just because they can flood the market with paper silver because they don't have to pay for the delivery, but they do in gold, and there's nothing out there to get. And this is the problem now. The U.S. probably should be buying gold because they're fucked if they don't have it. I would smell that China and BRICS and Russia are coming out with that gold-backed currency really soon, right? It's what is it? April 10th. By July, let's say July 10th, I would imagine they have a meeting in Brazil in May or June. You'll see a gold-backed currency, and you're pissed to see Trump. He's acting like a 5-year-old. He doesn't know what he's doing. And then it's like, well, what is this with the executive order? Oh, look, I signed it. Who gives a fuck? And first of all, you're not a dictator. It's supposed to, everything isn't it to go through checks and balances in Congress and the House? Why aren't we doing that? So you're just doing executive orders, and Congress is just sitting there doing nothing. Unbelievable. So great news there. 32.19. You gotta love it. I mean, it's just amazing. And yet I was telling Alyssa today, but I don't want to sell it now. I'm not going to profit take this, and I'm not going to sell it, because if I do, I'm back in this. So there should be no selling for profit going on here. The only selling that you're going to have is selling because you are going on a vacation or you need to pay a bill, or something's come up where you need monopoly money. So you sell an ounce of gold. Now you're going to get 3,200 of these. And then you pay your bill, you go on your trip, whatever you want to do with it. It's 3,200 now. You are not selling. You got 100 ounces. You're not selling 99 of them. You're not, let's say 95. You might sell 5 to pay bills or whatever. The other 95, you are not touching. Why would you sell it and get back into monopoly money, get back on the Titanic, which is sinking, at only 32.19? When we all know it's going to 10,000, if not 20,000, because once the trading places people who flood and go, I'm selling orange juice at 142, and the whole room, I'm buying. Once that happens, what do you think gold's going to be at? They're going to flood it. There's no more the supply. The supply is just about gone. So it's amazing how I listen to these people on YouTube, and none of them, they don't know what inflation is. They don't know what's going on. One guy said, "Oh, it's profit taking," the other day, and I'm like, I almost threw up. Like, it is not profit taking when COMEX derivatives go down. That's not profit taking. That's them trying to price fix it. As I say, it's Elisa saying hamburgers $10, no matter what the market's doing. And that's what JP Morgan's doing to silver. No matter what, silver's $31, $32. Even if the demand's huge and everybody comes in ordering silver, it won't matter. And with gold, 32.19, everybody's coming and buying it, but this time JP Morgan cannot price fix it, so it just keeps going. And you are not the profit take. This is not Bitcoin, which whatever Bitcoin is. This is gold. You do not profit take it. You get as much as you can. The more you get, the safer you are, the better you're going to be. Like I said, I keep telling Luke, you're going to be buying gold, 2 ounces will buy you, especially at the way it's moving. This could be 10,000 by Christmas. And the housing values are dropping because nobody can afford the interest rates and the value of the dollar is worthless. And you're pissing China off, who has 60,000 tons of gold. And as we know, who you as the gold makes the rules. You do not piss off China. I don't know what they're doing with China. They're trying to get rid of China. The U.S. wants to be a protectionist, nationalist country, which means we don't want to trade with anybody. We'll do everything on our own, which we already know doesn't work. That's why you need free trade, because A, you want competition, and B, if China can make things cheaper because their labor is cheaper, then you take advantage of that. But you don't have to balance the free trade. You can't balance free trade with anybody because your labor costs are way too high. Every other country, India, China, half, maybe not Germany, but probably half of the countries that you're dealing with, there's no way their labor is nowhere close to yours. So of course you're going to have a trade imbalance, but that's okay. You're buying everything cheaper. That's the point of it. That's the free trade model. Anyway, so I wanted to share this good news with you. 32. Now, last time I did this, it went up to 31.61, and I was all excited, and then it fell. But with these tariffs, I don't think I'm going to wake up at anything under 32. Look how quickly it went from 3,100 to 32, and now pulled back to 29.60, and then boom, 2 days. 30, it went back to 30.50 to 31 and change to 32 and change, 32.18, and it's only going to go up from here. Damn. It's only going to go up because the demand is there and nobody in the right mind selling. There's nobody selling gold to make this go down, to make you income average, to make you sell now and buy it cheaper. Nobody in their right mind is selling. Like I said, the only reason I would sell is to pay a bill or go on a vacation. Otherwise, I'm not selling anything because this isn't even close to where it's headed. I mean, now do you think we can hit 10 grand, 20 grand? The way it's going, we'll be there in 3-4 months. It's just going to fly because you need gold, and who in their right mind would sell it? Again, the gold price is somewhere up in this altitude, and comex is here. Comex 32.17, 32.18. Here's the gold price. People will pay this, and because all these dollars are worthless in Japan, China, Switzerland, Britain, and all of Euro, and all of Africa, and Russia, because all their dollars are worthless, the whole world's going into gold. So that hasn't even started yet. Once everybody realizes they've been screwed and the dollar's worthless, and they all run in, nobody's selling. The only reason we're selling is because somebody is knocking on our door going, yeah, can I give you 10 grand for gold? I need gold. I don't have any. How about 10 grand? And then we think about it. Well, Like I said, I went into the coin store when it was 2,000 an ounce, and the guy says, "Can you have? I know you have gold eagles. Can we buy some from you at 2,000 an ounce?" And I said, "Add a zero to it. If you want to give me 20,000 an ounce, I will sell you one." And I was dead serious. I'm not giving you up my gold for 2,000. And I told them three, just like I tell you guys, right? Luke and Bobby, we're supposed to go to Capitol Grill pretty soon. We'll make another date for 4,000, and that might be in a month. So you're looking at 32.17. It's just, but nobody's selling the gold because you have to get back into this, or you're getting back into this. You can't, if you sell it, you get back into this. So why would you sell it? Only a moron. Anybody that's smart enough to get out of the Titanic and into gold knows, if I sell it, I'm back on the Titanic and it's sinking. So once you realize that, there is no reason you are selling. There's no way. You're buying more. I'm still buying more as much as I can buy. I'm not selling. You're not there's nothing to sell. Like I said, if I want to go on a vacation to Hawaii, I might sell an ounce. So that is that. Questions, comments, let me know. The Masters, Justin Rose is leading. I'm rooting for him. Baseball, there was a light schedule today. I'll get into it in the morning. We'll do Fridays things. Now I'm going to show you a few videos.
Now, Andrew, you also mentioned that silver will be a major beneficiary of the gold breakout. Where are we in this process?
Silver is coiling for a very large move through low-hanging short stops at spot $35, which is why the cartel are synthetically expanding the short leg of the exchange for futures leg to try and defend these spot short stops from being ignited. We'll demonstrate that in a minute. It's not realized yet by sideline silver traders that silver will be the major beneficiary of U.S. market Basel III compliance.
For a full episode, just click the link below.
That's Mark McGuire. So that's where we're headed to. We've got $3,200 gold, and silver's just sitting there. All I can say is just buy your silver now at 32. You go to the store, my guy, 34 an ounce, he has. You just keep going. I mean, this is what you do. This is a very interesting one. We think there's 1 billion people in China. And this woman, some statistical woman, says there's only about 400 or 500 million people there, not 1 billion. I'm going to play a few minutes of this.
It took my grandfather just 3 weeks to go from XXL to L. Here's how he did it.
Population ratio of and consistent said that it's absolutely not the official 1.4 billion, and it's no more than 100 million. And also, I don't want to come across as sensational by making unsubstantiated claims. That said, a number of viewers have written to me, sharing their thoughts and information on the matter. I decide to finally confront the question head on. China's real population is not anywhere near 100 million either. It's somewhere between 300 and 400 million. Yes, you heard that right. China's actual population may be only a fraction of the official 1.4 billion. I believe we need a two-step approach to estimate China's real population. First, we must rectify China's real population before the pandemic. And then we must determine China's real death toll during COVID. So first things first, what is China's population before the pandemic? In 2018, the Russians estimated that China's actual population may be between 500 million and 800 million. A Russian expert noted that China's population in 1945, during the nationalist rule, was 490 million. After the Communist Party implemented the Great Leap Forward, which resulted in the Great Famine and the subsequent Cultural Revolution, causing countless deaths and injuries, followed by decades of the one-child policy, it's impossible that China's population surged to 1.4 billion. Other Russian experts.
Okay, so you got 300, 400 million Chinese. That's it. Everybody thinks they have a billion people. This is what communists does. Now, she said they starved their people. A lot of people died from famine. So I'm watching We Are the World. What a Ponzi scheme that was. So they get all these stars, Michael Jackson and Bruce Springsteen and Simon and Garfunkel and all these other idiots. Who, by the way, I watched it and I go, these guys are a bunch of idiots. They do it for free. You don't do anything for free. Well, the children are starving in Africa. No, they're not. The government is starving them just like they do, because that's what communist people do. The dictator eats steak, but everybody else is famine because of the price fixing that goes on. So here's We Are the World. Oh, we got to feed everybody. Everybody, all the socialists cry, oh, the people are starving. Well, they're starving because of the government. So they did the album. And how many millions of dollars? Who got? Probably the guy who did it. How much did actually go to Africa?